It had been 3 years since Princess Sofia of Enchancia had married Prince Leo of Marabella, and life as a royal couple had settled into a beautiful rhythm. Their wedding had been a grand celebration, attended by magical creatures, royalty from every corner of the land, and of course Sofia's close friends and family. But it was what came after the fairy tale wedding that truly defined Sofia's next chapter. At 21, Sofia was no longer the little girl who had stumbled into royalty after her mother married King Roland. She had grown into a wise, compassionate young woman still full of wonder and warmth, but with a deeper understanding of responsibility and leadership. Marrying Leo, a kind-hearted and adventurous prince, only strengthened her love for diplomacy, exploration, and helping others. Sofia and Leo resided in the Sunspire Palace, nestled atop the cliffs overlooking the Sea of Whispers in Marabella. The palace was smaller than the grand castle of Enchancia, but it was cozy and filled with character-blooming gardens, spiral towers, and enchanted hallways that whispered old stories when the wind blew just right. Sofia decorated the halls with portraits of her family, her mother Miranda, her stepfather King Roland, Amber and James, and even Clover, her loyal rabbit friend who now lived peacefully in the royal gardens with his own little rabbit family. Though married life was a joy, Sofia never let go of her purpose. As queen in training of Marabella, she quickly became beloved by the people. She visited villages, listened to their problems, and often helped in magical and non-magical ways alike. With the amulet of Avalor still around her neck glowing with a soft, permanent golden light, Sofia was known as the Queen of Hearts, for she ruled with kindness and humility. One misty morning, as the fog rolled over the cliffs, Sofia stood on the balcony, sipping tea and gazing at the sea. Leo joined her with a letter in hand. "From Mystic Hollow," he said, handing her the parchment. "There's been talk of strange magic stirring there. Disappearances, vanishing stars at night." Sofia furrowed her brow. "Mystic Hollow? That place has always been quiet, peaceful." Leo nodded. "I thought the same. Want to investigate?" She smiled, her eyes sparkling with that familiar glint of curiosity. "Of course. One last adventure before today's council meeting?" They donned their cloaks, summoned their winged horses, and flew off toward the enchanted forest. As they arrived, the usual vibrant colors of Mystic Hollow were dull. The trees whispered nervously, and even the fairies looked uneasy. A young fairy named Lila approached them. "Queen Sofia, Prince Leo, we're so glad you came. Something has been stealing starlight. The stars flicker and vanish every night. Without them, our magic is weakening." Sofia knelt beside her. "Have you seen anything? Any clues?" Lila pointed to a dark hollow in the base of an old tree. "It started there. A shadow came out one night, and ever since things haven't been the same." With care and caution, Sofia and Leo entered the hollow. It grew colder as they descended, the air thick with unseen magic. At the bottom, they found a glowing crystal pulsing with dark energy. Sofia approached. "This crystal, it's siphoning light, but from where?" Leo studied the carvings around it. "It's a mirror crystal. It reflects and absorbs light, and if corrupted, it could drain the magic from the stars themselves." Without hesitation, Sofia reached for the amulet. "Amulet of Avalor, grant me the wisdom to restore what's broken." The amulet shimmered, and for a brief moment, Sofia was surrounded by glowing stars. A voice, Queen Elsa of Arendelle, appeared beside her in a ghostly vision. "Remember, Sofia," Elsa said gently, "true light comes from within. Only love and courage can dispel darkness." With those words echoing in her heart, Sofia took Leo's hand. Together, they focused on their love, their hopes for their people, and their dreams for the future. The crystal responded. the shadows melted away, and light poured back into the forest. Stars reignited in the sky above. The fairies cheered, and Lila flew up to hug Sofia's shoulder. "Thank you, Queen Sofia. You've saved us." Sofia smiled. "Any time, my friend." Later that afternoon, back at Sunspire Palace, Sofia sat at the round table in the council room. Representatives from the neighboring kingdoms were present, human, mermaid, centaur, and fairy alike. "We need to strengthen our magical alliances," she proposed. "The world is changing, new threats may rise, but if we stand together, if we listen and lead with empathy, we can face anything." The council members nodded, impressed by her grace and clarity. That night, as Sofia changed out of her gown and into her lavender silk nightdress, Leo came up behind her and wrapped his arms around her waist. "Still saving the world before bedtime," he teased, kissing her cheek. She laughed. "Old habits, you know," he said, turning her to face him. "I knew the day I met you that you'd change everything, not just kingdoms. You changed me." Sofia and Leo continued to reign with wisdom and warmth. Over time, they opened a royal academy for young leaders, inviting young royals and commoners alike to learn diplomacy, magic, and kindness. Sofia taught part-time, always slipping lessons of bravery and heart into every subject. And one spring morning, the whole kingdom erupted with joy when Sofia announced she was expecting her first child. Amber and James rushed to visit. Miranda cried tears of joy. Even Clover hopped excitedly around the garden, telling anyone who'd listen that he'd soon be an Uncle Bun. As Sofia walked through the palace gardens, her hand on her belly, she whispered, "You'll grow up in a world full of light, little one. A world worth fighting for." And with that, Queen Sofia turned toward the sunrise, ready for her next great adventure, not as a princess, not just as a queen, but as a mother. She looked into his eyes. "And you helped me grow. You never made me feel like I had to choose between being a princess, a queen, or just me. You always believed I could be all three." They stood there in silence, stars twinkling above them, restored and bright. Sofia and Leo continued to reign with wisdom and warmth. Over time, they opened a royal academy for young leaders, inviting young royals and commoners alike to learn diplomacy, magic, and kindness. Sofia taught part-time, always slipping lessons of bravery and heart into every subject. And one spring morning, the whole kingdom erupted with joy when Sofia announced she was expecting her first child. Amber and James rushed to visit. Miranda cried tears of joy. Even Clover hopped excitedly around the garden, telling anyone who'd listen that he'd soon be an Uncle Bun. As Sofia walked through the palace gardens, her hand on her belly, she whispered, "You'll grow up in a world full of light, little one. A world worth fighting for." And with that, Queen Sofia turned toward the sunrise, ready for her next great adventure, not as a princess, not just as a queen, but as a mother.